tuning in. This is optibotimus coming with another video review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the new Leonardo from the upcoming Ninja Turtles movie. As you can see with the packaging, one thing that's really very neat is that depending on the package, the background image kind of changes. For example, you got Donnie, Mikey, Raph, and then Leo is actually up forward, kind of as part of the clamshell, which is really neat, and that changes with each individual turtle. I really dig that. You can see the figure in the plastic itself. You've got his swords, or katanas, come around here to the back, and you got all the figures that are currently available, such as all four of the turtles, Splinter, April, Shredder, and the Foot Soldier. You got a little bit of a read up right up here. Matt, if you want to read, go ahead and pause it, and you can read it right now. I'm not going to read it every single time I review one of these. It's kind of silly. But that's about it for the packaging. I really do dig it. And like I said, I really like how they have whatever turtle you're getting in package front and center right here. I mean, I think that's really a very cool touch. So without further ado, let's get this guy open and see how cool he actually is. All right, guys. So here we have Leonardo open up and out of its packaging. And I really do like these guys. Now, for me personally, I do not have a problem with their CGI look. A lot of people do. It's different. I'll give them that. But honestly, I don't. It doesn't bug me really all that much. It's a different look for the characters. That is absolutely true. And it comes across very much like that here in the action figure. It doesn't look bad though. One thing that is very evident here is the nose doesn't really look as prominent as the actual CGI model. So that's one thing that I think some people will appreciate here on the toys that they might not like in the actual film. Zooming in to see that, you can see that the nostrils aren't really prominent there. I mean, you can see them, but they're not as dark looking on the toy as they are in the actual CGI. That's one thing that I think separates this. You do have the regular blue bandana, obviously, much like Leonardo would have, and then you come down and you just look at all the body armor that he has. It's really neat. Yeah, it's literally like they just found a whole bunch of extra random bits laying in the sewer and they put it on him. I mean, he's got a little bit more of a weird boot look than some of the other ones, but it almost looks like he's wearing flip-flops or something, but the paints, or his toes aren't painted or anything, so I'm guessing that's just meant to be a sort of a boot. But you can see that there are some details up in here that aren't painted, so that kind of is unfortunate, but I still think that he's a decent looking figure. Now, Leo is the only turtle that can actually store his weapons. He comes with the sheaths here that go on his back. It's a separate piece that you can see just plugs in. I would have liked to have seen if this was painted differently. I don't know why they couldn't have, because it is molded differently than the back of a shell. But when you put it on there, it just kind of blends in. I would have preferred if it was black or something like that, and you can see the strap coming across his shoulder and everything. So maybe that was a little bit different. It would have stood out a little bit better. Whether or not that's accurate is another story, I guess. But pretty decent looking nonetheless. The swords fit very nicely in his sheaths. They are, let me see if they're the same size, because in the previous Leo figures, they were all different sizes. Yeah, this looks like it's the same size. So just sheath it right up in there like so. And like I said, the articulation really is something also that impressed me. Now, not so much for the turtles because they're the main draw, and Playmates is notorious for putting all of their tooling and budget into the Ninja Turtle figures themselves. One thing that is unfortunate though is it doesn't have wrist swivels, which kind of bums me out. For the head, it is on a ball joint. You can see it pops off, and here's a whole separate piece. He's got a little scarf thing here. Put that back on there. So you can't get it really looking like that. I mean, you can, but when you do it, you sort of pull it away from the ball joint, so you can't get it looking like that, but it's predominantly designed just to twist like so, which I don't like. That's kind of ugly. I wish there was another joint in there or something that could allow you to slightly twist it so it's more positioned like that without having that look, I guess. I mean, I'll probably do that anyhow, but that it could potentially stretch out the whole section here on the actual joint. The shoulders move in and out. They rotate all the way around. There really isn't much hindrance. They move in and out, but they go only up that far. You got this extra shoulder armor here that kind of gets in the way. He rotates at the elbow and he moves forward and back, but the arms or the wrists are stuck in this pose here where when you put the sword in, it's angling them like that. I mean, he's got like the He-Man like thing going, in the castle of Grayskull. I mean, that's what it basically is. I really wish that there was a way to rotate that around, or maybe even rocker it or something. I'm kind of disappointed in that bit of articulation. Now, they also don't have waist articulation, which I guess I can understand because this is all one piece, but because a lot of these characters are wearing something around their midriff, you probably could have put a cut right around it and made it rotate, because you don't even see the bottom of his shell, so it's not like it would break up that look. So I really wish that was there. The hips move forward and back. This is a little bit softer of a rubber material, so you can get some flex in the stretching of his legs. They move like that forward and back with it. If you want to move them in and out, you got to rotate them at the upper part of the hip to be able to get them to move in and out just like so. He bends here at the knee, and then he rotates also at the knee. And much like the wrists, there are no ankle joints, which I really wish he had, just so you could pull off some more dynamic poses, I guess, with him. I still love the figure, don't get me wrong. I just am really kind of shocked that they would put the wrist articulation in like Shredder, which I guess you needed it more because he had that armature on the outside of his arm, so you really couldn't rotate or put a rotation joint in his elbow. So at least they put it down in the wrist, but I just think that with the Turtles, you need to have all that articulation there with them. Now, for some size comparisons, here he is. And here you have him next to the vintage figure, as well as the new Battle Shell version from the recent cartoon series. And as you can see, he is taller than all of them, just kind of lining them up front to back. You can see that, well, I mean, the vintage one is always like the tiniest, but he is even about a head or so taller than the new cartoon version. And I know a lot of you guys are probably wanting to see comparisons with all the Turtles, but I'm going to save that for the very last review so I can familiarize yourself with the sizes of these new guys. But in general, I really am impressed. The look on these guys is much better, I think, in toy form than in the CGI. And I don't have a problem with the CGI at all. But these have a little bit more of that feel that we're used to, especially in the head area, which I think a lot of people are very, very concerned about. Also, when you see it in the trailers, these guys look massive, even taller than humans. So I really do like the fact that toy-wise, they're scaled a little bit smaller. And actually, Shredder is taller than this guy. But again, I'll bring him in and show you guys all that later on once you're more familiar with the scales of these. All that being said, I'm very impressed with these toys. Now remember, these are not scheduled to be released for a little while. But I did find mine at Target, where some of them have been breaking the street dates. So feel free to get out there and look, and happy hunting. If you're a Turtle fan, I think you guys are going to like them. If not, these are available for pre-order at Big Bad Toy Store. So go ahead and click on the link down in the video description. You can go there and you can add these to your collection just as soon as they come out. But beyond that, that's about it, guys. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Don't forget, you can keep in touch with me and find out recent purchases by liking my Facebook page at facebook.com/teambotimus, or by following me over on Twitter at twitter.com/optibotimus. Also, don't forget to check out my new website at optibotimusreviews.com, where you can see all my videos from the previous week, as well as see what I have coming up for future release. And guys, please, if you like this review, don't forget to rate, comment, and share this video. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.